Favor de permanecer de pie y dar la bienvenida a nuestra facultad al escenario.
Please welcome our faculty to the stage. Can I have everyone please stand or remain standing as we welcome Amanda Lamb to the stage to sing our national anthem. Thank you. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Thank you, Amanda. You may be seated. Our first speaker of the evening tonight is our CEO and chairman of the Institute of Culinary Education. Please welcome Rick Smilo.
Nuestro primer orador es nuestro jefe ejecutivo y presidente del Instituto de Educación Culinaria. Favor de darle bienvenida a Rick Smilo.
Greetings, everybody. It's great to be here this evening with all of you, and I'm going to say congratulations at the end of my 12-and-a-half-minute talk. But just to say congratulations now, how about a round of applause for all the graduates? So the main thing that's going on tonight is this commencement. But I just want you to know that this is also a big campaign to get all the students at Caltech to drop out and come to ICE. So I have been the leader and CEO of ICE in New York City for 28 years. When I was 15. Back in 1995, when we were in a walk-up building on East 92nd Street, I couldn't predict the school would grow to be a prominent institution. I didn't know we would have a restaurant management and plant-based program, a campus in Southern California, and most recently, a fully online program, And by the way, the very first graduates of that program, some of them are in the room tonight. But most importantly, I didn't know how satisfying it would make me feel to know that our team's investment of time, sweat, and resources would help now thousands of people just like you to launch their careers. So to be addressing you today is personally very rewarding. As for Pasadena, I do have an anecdote. I am from the East Coast and old enough to remember a song about Pasadena. When I was pretty young, there was a Beach Boys song, The Little Old Lady from Pasadena. Some of you may have heard it. And there was also the Rose Bowl parade and the big football game. Now, many decades later, when I see the sun, mountains, and palm trees, I know, 1, why the lady in the song lived here, 2, why this is a great place for a New Year's Day bowl game, and 3, most importantly, why it's a great place for a leading culinary institute. Next, the thank yous. To begin with, there are some thank yous I'd like to extend. First, the parents and loved ones, and how about a round of applause for all of them? You encouraged our students, and you may have helped pay for their education. You may have tasted their homework, and hopefully it was tastier as the lessons progressed. Second, I'd like to thank the staff at ICE that works hard and with purpose and dedication. It's a broad group. First to come to mind are the chef instructors, but there's also dozens and dozens of people in roles like registrar, job placement, financial aid, student affairs, admissions, food purchasing, facilities maintenance, and more that makes it possible for our diploma programs to run. And I want to thank the people who planned this commencement ceremony, who in summary, I will call the Commencement Committee. Thank you, Commencement Committee. And in advance, I'd like to thank our guest speakers. That is Culinary Arts graduate Jessica Alferos as the alumni speaker, and esteemed chef, author, and restaurateur Stephanie Izard as our keynote speaker. So you may be wondering, who are we recognizing and celebrating today? For the benefit of family and friends who are out there, let me give you an overview. Our commencement today is designed for graduates of the last 12 months whose program and diploma from ICE is either in culinary arts, pastry and baking arts, restaurant and culinary management, and or health supportive culinary arts, which is a plant-based program. And they're enthusiastic. Beyond programs, let me paint a picture of our 2023 graduating class. You are diverse, not just culturally, but in age, nationality, gender identity, and your future goals. For example, graduates include, and if I mention your name, give a shout out. There's brother and sister Garam and Meggie Dambadzi. Are you here? They enrolled together and completed culinary arts and pastry, separate programs, and their plan is to begin a family business that utilizes their new culinary and baking skills. There's pastry and baking graduate Bruce Anderson, whose prior work was as a medical director and compliance officer. There's, and I pardon my mispronunciation if I'm doing that, Cody Ashiro, a culinary art graduate who is a former sushi chef who attended ICE Culinary because his grandfather encouraged him to expand his knowledge of cooking. He's now working as chef de partie at Providence, which is one of America's most highly regarded seafood restaurants here in Los Angeles. There's Emil Henrich. Emil, are you here? All right, there he is. Well, I'm going to tell everybody a lot about you. He moved from San Diego just after high school to Pasadena to attend ICE's pastry and baking program with the goal of starting his own pastry food truck, which I think is a good idea. And then lastly, there's culinary arts graduate Nadia Abu Maida, an international student from Alberta, Canada, whose father was a chef in Lebanon. So that's what I mean by diversity of goals and background. I would be remiss if I didn't give you some perspective and some advice. Here is some perspective. After many years and thousands of graduates, I know that our alumni will define success in many ways. As you know, our school motto is "Find Your Culinary Voice." When that was first presented to us by a marketing agency, 12 or 13 years ago, I actually thought it was a corny line. I didn't like it. But soon after, I realized that it fits so well, and it's what we try so hard to achieve. Here are some examples of the different voices and paths. For Mashima Bailey, who graduated from ICE in 2001, it was to be a chef entrepreneur, and she's done that very well. She is the executive chef and partner of The Gray in Savannah, Georgia, and now has a branch of the restaurant in Austin, Texas. Last year, just about a year ago, she won the James Beard Foundation Award for Outstanding Chef in America. That is the highest singular honor for a chef in America. By contrast, there's ICE alumni Maria Rodriguez. For her, it was keeping her daytime job in a New Jersey medical center, but working only on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights as a pastry chef in a suburban restaurant near where she lived. That was her goal, to keep her day job and be a part-time pastry chef. So these are examples of find your culinary voice and how success can be defined in so many ways. And as you all define your culinary voice and have your successes, please keep in touch with us and with the Alumni Office. And a particular request of the men. We know from past experience that men are really bad about keeping in touch with alumni offices, and women are much better. But maybe this group will be different. Okay, now for my advice. There are 4 areas. First of all, make teamwork a goal. When you watch the Emmys, the Grammys, or the James Beard Awards, or the end of the Super Bowl or the World Series, there is one word you always hear. That is teamwork. The performers, stars, and notables you hear talking about teamwork aren't just being nice, they're being honest. Little gets accomplished without teamwork. So what makes a great team player? It is someone who is always reliable, adapts quickly and easily, displays genuine commitment, does more than is asked, and communicates honestly, clearly, and respectfully. With great teamwork, a workplace, be it a hotel, a pastry shop, a restaurant, a catering business, is more satisfying. The results will be better, and new ideas are more apt to develop. Today, one of your jobs is to be a great teammate, but in years to come, we hope and expect that part of your role will be to create and guide a team. Keep in mind that all the enterprises where you work need not just staff, they need managers and leaders. So whatever culinary or hospitality ladder you are hoping to climb, you can climb that ladder faster today, probably than at any time in recent decades, but you can only climb with teamwork. Advice number 2, be patient. While I was earlier speaking about your diversity, there is one thing I know you all have in common. That is that you are only 1 to 11 months into your careers after culinary school. In the scheme of things, that's not very long. And most, or perhaps all of you, are in jobs where there are so many techniques, skills, and practices to master. So the simple advice is, be patient. Focus on mastering skills so you can move on to other skills. Focus on mastering skills so you can teach those skills to others. Here are some quips and quotes, as I'd call them, on that subject from chefs you may or may not have heard of. Alex Atala, who is perhaps the best-known living chef in South America, wrote, quote, "The difference between what is good, very good, and exceptional can be found in repetition. A chef must master the basics before he or she can create something exceptional, and the only way to master something is to repeat the process many times, honing your skills and making slight changes to your methods until you have reached your own version of perfection." And hopefully some of you that finished ICE 10 months ago have experienced this, and those of you who finished 3 weeks ago, not yet. Another quote comes from ICE alum Colin Alevres. Years ago, I heard him address some ICE students. He said, quote, "Repetition is only boring if you don't realize you are learning something." Chef Eva de Gil, a chef who's in Barcelona, and you may know from Top Chef Spain, nobody knows Top Chef Spain, was quoted as saying, quote, "My advice is to be more patient and take things step by step instead of trying to do everything at once and be overwhelmed. Practice setting a goal, creating an action plan, short-term and long-term." Another quote, a bit more tongue-in-cheek than the others, is from Chef Daniel Boulud, who said, "Remember, it's never the knives' fault." The last part about patience is that it's easier and more effective to be patient when you don't spend too much time comparing yourself to other people. A great bit of guidance for everyone that I heard Chef Jeffrey Zakarian tell our students is, and I don't think he made this up, but he's not the first one to say this, but it's a great piece of advice. Don't spend time and energy comparing yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Advice number 3 of 4, allow yourself to focus on your dreams. While being patient, do take the time to dream big. It may not be something you do every day, but think about it enough to inspire you. What do I mean by focus on your dreams? Well, one thing could be to take intentional and deliberate actions. Could be with your hands, your heart, or your brain. Develop and plan steps, call them baby steps or big steps, that help you move forward with your goals. Much of that can be on the job, taking the time to learn things that are beyond your current responsibilities that will help you prepare for bigger roles. My own children are the same age as many of you, and as they moved into career type stages, I gave them what I think is good adult advice. Maybe yes, maybe no. They would say no, but it's really good. It has to do with the old adage of having a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. I have said to them, why not have 3 plan A's and then a plan B and a plan C? Plan A, as you know, is the one you will work hardest on and think the most about. If you have multiple plan A's, the odds of one of them coming to fruition are higher, and then you may never have to, quote, settle for plan B or plan C. My last area of advice is to use your influence. What do I mean by influence? These days, one thinks of social media influence. Today, some of you may have 50 followers or 5,000 followers, or who knows. And you may or may not ever be considered a social media or social influencer. But wait, you went to culinary school. You are graduating from the Institute of Culinary Education. That means when it comes to food, taste, diet, and restaurants, you have more knowledge and influence than most of the people you know, and no doubt that knowledge and influence will grow. So there are many ways you can use your influence, and this is a lofty list, but it's food for thought. There's America's public health. Here's some facts. Americans don't eat enough fiber. Americans eat too many calories and fat and too much processed food. American children eat too much sugar. Maybe in some small or large way, you can have influence on that. There's sustainability. It's difficult for small farms in America to compete against large industrial farms. Maybe soon, you can be in a position where you can choose to buy from small farms. You can choose to serve the fish that are plentiful and not the ones that are endangered. And then to go really lofty, there's world peace. Why not? Think of all the people and groups and neighbors who are fighting each other. You know one thing they have in common? More times than not, they like to eat the same foods. So maybe eating and food can be a basis for peace. Now, I have set some lofty goals for you, and I don't know how you are going to do it, but as an ICE graduate, maybe you can. So use your influence. In closing, I want to congratulate you all for graduating the Institute of Culinary Education. I wish you good fortune, good luck, good health, good cooking, baking, and managing. Enjoy the journey you have begun.
Nuestro siguiente orador es el Dr. Lachlan Sands, el presidente de la Escuela de ICE Los Angeles.
Our next speaker is Dr. Lachlan Sands, the campus president of ICE Los Angeles.
You all get an A. Well, graduates, welcome. It is an absolute pleasure to see you all here. Along with Rick, I would like to start by thanking our faculty, our stewarding department, our facilities department, admissions, financial services, career services, and academics for their tireless efforts. Together with you, graduates, and friends and family, we together are the Institute of Culinary Education. I would also like to thank you, graduates, specifically for your dedication to your dream and making it a reality. It was a challenge coming to school week after week and juggling work, friends, and family. And today, you have reached the milestone of commencement. Much has changed in our industry since I graduated, but not the pride I take in being a culinary school graduate. I wasn't given my diploma, I earned it, and so did you. It is something you should be proud of because it has real meaning and it is forever. It means you have joined a community of ICE graduates and ICE chefs almost 50 years old. And it also means you have the skills to be employed for the rest of your lives anywhere in the world. It means you are now an ICE graduate, which is an achievement no one can ever take away from you. It also means that you are now responsible for the direction of food service and hospitality. Jackie Robinson once said, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." The way you leave a legacy in this industry is by producing and preparing the next generation of professionals to follow you and deciding what you want this culture to be. As with our society at large, culinary arts stands at a crossroads. And like it or not, you must decide where the hospitality industry will go. We are in your hands. Where will you take us? As you answer that question, I ask you to remember what hospitality is supposed to be. Chefs who have lost their way make food about themselves, their needs, their desires, and their egos. Because cooking is supposed to be about making miracles for others, not for yourself. It is about friendship and people and respect. And I ask you to remember that at its core, hospitality is simply the art of making people feel cared for and special in the moment. We as an industry are very good at caring for our guests, but we're not nearly as good at looking after each other and ourselves. This industry has traditionally taken pride in 16-hour days, working on holidays, and sacrificing family time. We demonize anything other than immediate work, and we normalize this behavior under the title of paying your dues. And when our people need help, which they often do, we have not done a great job of listening to them. But starting with the Me Too movement, and then the challenges we faced in the pandemic, and now with the general shift in social values, we've highlighted areas that we, and especially you, can make a positive impact. This is in large part by talking about and promoting good mental health. We've begun this conversation at a high level. Beard award-winning chefs Daniel Patterson and Jessica Largy have both written about their struggles with mental wellness. Patterson is happy to discuss the fact that he needs antidepressants and regular therapy to maintain that wellness. In part, he seeks to break down the stigma attached to these topics. He says that too often we have seen these conversations as indicative of weakness, uncomfortable, and too personal. But Patterson says that seeking help openly has made me a more patient, less emotional, and far more focused and efficient. I'm a better father, husband, employer, and friend. I'm still just as passionate about what I do, just as flawed, and just as human. But facing my condition and doing something about it has given me the confidence to make better choices in my life and in my work. A personally meaningful example of this is Chef Jessica Largy. Largy graduated from culinary school in 2005 and was a student of mine. After graduation, she worked hard here in LA at Providence, went to Le Mill, and then went to England to the Fat Duck. She paid her dues and came back to the US at the 3 Michelin star restaurant Manresa in Northern California, where she was chef de cuisine. I mean, this is huge. This is what a career arc is supposed to look like. And then she won a James Beard Award, right? 2 weeks after she won the Beard Award, she quit Menresa and focused on her mental health for the next 6 months. Largy's crisis and her journey came down to this. She could no longer work in an industry that chose not to care about its people. This industry almost lost one of their brightest young stars because no one really had Jessica's back. Her coworkers and employers chose not to see her signs of anxiety and depression because it was convenient. It was cost effective to ignore them. This industry chose to see Jessica as disposable commodity, and because she was raised in this culture, Jessica chose to let them, and she nearly lost herself. Socrates said, "To be good, you must do good. To be good, you must do good." There's action, and simply acknowledging the issue does not make it go away. Only thoughtful cultural change can help. But how do you make change so early in your careers? Well, this sector is still ravaged by COVID and desperate for great cooks and hospitality employees. You are in demand for secure paid positions in hotels and restaurants and hospitals and retirement resorts and cruise lines and on, cooking really great food. The moment is unique, and you have enormous power for change by simply choosing who you work for. Choose carefully who you work for, and don't let the people who are looking out for their own self-interest, their own ego, don't let them define your career narrative. Demand a better experience, and then share that experience with those who follow you. The poet Maya Angelou said, "I did then what I knew how to do. Now I know better, I do better. I did then what I knew how to do. Now I know better, I do better." Daniel Patterson knows better, and he does better. He promotes mental wellness, finding joy outside of the kitchen, ensuring vacations for his employees, and even leads his crew in breathing exercises before the shift. Why? Because he knows how it is to need support and to not get it. It's because he cares and because he wants this industry to be better. Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, said, "There are 3 ways to ultimate success." And Daniel Patterson knows this. There are 3 ways to ultimate success. The first way is to be kind. The second way is to be kind. And the third way is to be kind. And if I may add, that's kind to your guests, kind to your people, and most of all, kind to yourselves. Like Patterson, you, the upcoming generation of culinary professionals, know better. But will you do better? Will you do good? Will you listen to the needs of your people and treat them with care and respect? Will you listen to your own needs and speak up when things aren't right? Or will you propagate the old school mentality which glamorizes long hours and unnecessary sacrifice? The choice is yours now. Now. And while this is a time of joy and congratulations, it carries with it this responsibility. Make your choice. And my gut tells me that when you do, we're going to be okay. That we, as a profession, are in good hands. Yours. And now, I get worked up. And now, with great optimism for the future, and on this very special day, please know that ICE is proud of you and that I am especially proud. I wish you peace, I wish you happiness, and I wish you health. Congratulations to you, ICE's graduating class of 2023.
At this time, I am going to take a few moments and introduce our graduate speaker. Gabby will come behind me. as well and do the same. Our graduate speaker, Jessica Alferos. Jessica is a graduate of our culinary arts program. Jessica was an outstanding student at ICE, earning graduation honors and externing at Wolfgang Puck's world-famous flagship restaurant, Spago, Beverly Hills. After her externship ended, Jessica's exemplary work was rewarded with a full-time position and then promoted to sous chef, where she is now.
Nuestro siguiente orador es un graduado y es Jessica Alferos. Jessica se gradúa del programa de artes culinarias. Jessica fue una estudiante excepcional en ICE. Se gradúa con honores y completó sus horas de práctica con el restaurante conocido por todo el mundo de Spago en Beverly Hills. Después de que sus horas de práctica terminaron, su trabajo ejemplar fue premiado con una posición de tiempo completo. Después fue promovida a sous chef. Please welcome Jessica to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed faculty, proud parents, and fellow graduates. Today, as we stand here at the culmination of the culinary school journey, I am deeply honored to address you. I would first like to thank Chef Sands, Rebecca, and ICE for having me as their alumni speaker. I'm honored and grateful to share you with my experience at ICE and my journey after graduation. I always wanted to become a chef. I love food and everything about it. My love for food began with my grandparents and their cooking. My grandmother was a cook at a restaurant, and my grandfather was a chef in the Navy. Growing up in a Filipino and Italian household, the first thing they would ask you when you enter their home was, "Did you eat? Are you hungry?" They would make you a full meal, which seemed like seconds. There's nothing better than having your family around for the dinner table. Food is what brought my family together and most people together. Before my journey to culinary school, I achieved a degree in business management at Alabama A&M University, where I also played softball. After graduation, I started ICE. I decided to attend ICE because I didn't want a 9-to-5 job sitting in a cubicle staring at the computer all day. Have you ever heard the saying, choose a job you'll love and you'll never work a day in your life? That's exactly what I wanted. I believed ICE would help me to get into the industry, guide me to the right path, and they did. They have a history of helping thousands of students launch their culinary careers. I remember being nervous during my first day of class, but I was also excited to start my new journey as becoming a chef. Our culinary school journey has been a melting pot for cultures, ideas, and flavors. We've learned to appreciate the diversity of ingredients, techniques, and traditions. That form of the backbone of our profession. During my time at ICE, I had a lot of great memories. One of them being Egg Day, which many probably know was a disaster, flipping an over easy egg and breaking it dozens of times, but now we could do it with ease. Does anybody remember Lobster Day? This was probably the scariest day for me learning how to kill a lobster. I've never killed anything in my life, and I freaked out because it just kept on moving. Till this day, I feel so bad working with lobsters. I had the greatest opportunity learning from chefs, and ICE is good at finding great instructors. Some of them have gone on to pursue other things, but several are here today with us. Chef Pergel, Chef Meta, Chef Yagars, and Chef Guillard built my foundation for the kitchen. My beginning instructor was Chef Pergel. He taught all my beginning courses, and he was the greatest. On our first day, he asked, "Why did you come to culinary school?" All I could think was, I love food and everything about it, just like many of you. I love seeing the joy from people eating my food, learning different types of food and how different cultures use them, but mostly because I love to eat. Just a few weeks into school, Chef Pergel came up to me and said, "You're going to make it in this industry." I wish he was here to see that I did, that I am, and that we all are. But our education here goes beyond the confines of a kitchen. It has taught us invaluable life lessons that extend far beyond the realm of culinary arts. We've learned the importance of teamwork, the value of perseverance, and the significance of time management. These skills ingrained is through countless final exam, demanding restaurant simulations, and served us well finding our culinary voice. Thinking back on my externship process, it was scary. Everyone in my class was getting externships, and I felt like time was running out. I applied to several places, but only 2 responded: Disney World's culinary program and Spago Beverly Hills. I had 3 interviews with Disney over the phone, and I was so nervous. My last interview with Disney was with their chef, and during the interview, you must describe in detail what you would cook, from what type of pan you would use, how to properly season, to plating. Did any of you interview at Disney? It was stressful, but I described a dish we prepared in class, the potato crusted halibut. I kept it simple and stuck to something I knew. Thank you, Rebecca, for that advice. After the interview, they would decide if you would go to quick service, casual, or one of their fine dining restaurants. I was placed at Tiffin's, one of their fine dining restaurants. My last place I interviewed was Spago Beverly Hills. I was interviewed and hired on the spot. I had started my externship at Spago Beverly Hills, Wolfgang Puck's flagship. I started as a prep cook, but some of my classes started as line cooks, which was discouraging, but I was grateful I did. I've never worked in a kitchen before, and it was a great introduction. I learned the ins and outs of the kitchen, saw produce that I've never seen before, and knew exactly where everything was, which was helpful when I started on the line. A couple of months later, I moved up to a line cook at lunch, and that was more terrifying. If you know anything about Spago, you know it's not an easy kitchen. Some of my cooks here today will know that. I had nightmares of hearing the ticket machine go off. I did not want any tickets at my station. I was nervous I would get called out for doing something wrong. I was there for a year, and then COVID hit. I was off for a month or so, and they called me back to work for to-go orders. I was very grateful for them bringing me back when they had dozens of other cooks to choose from. I worked hard, and just over a year ago, I was promoted to sous chef at Spago Beverly Hills. This has been a challenging process for me, and it's more than just cooking and many more hours. When it gets hard, I just remember the question Chef Purtle asked me: why did I go to culinary school? My passion for food and cooking, passion is what drives me every day to work 12 hours and sometimes even more. This industry is hard, and it isn't for everyone. Find the part that you like and stick with it. There are so many opportunities and different paths in this industry, and everyone can find something, whether it's a private chef, working in a bakery, catering, working in a huge or even small kitchen. As we venture forth into the professional culinary world, we must remember that we have the power to make a difference. Our skills go beyond creating exquisite dishes. We have the ability to bring people together, to create unforgettable experiences, and to nourish. With every plate we present, we have the opportunity to tell a story, to invoke emotion, and to leave a lasting impression on those we serve. Finally, I want to acknowledge the unwavering support of the families and loved ones in this room. They have believed in us when we doubted ourselves, lifted us up, and stumbled and celebrated our victories with our unparalleled joy. We are eternally grateful. As you first take your steps in this culinary professional, remember the lessons that we've learned, the friendships that we forged, and the dreams that we brought to this remarkable milestone. I cannot conclude without thanking ICE. I would not be where I'm at today without you. ICE gave me the connections to get to my externship, the tools and knowledge that I needed to start my journey. A couple of years ago, they assisted me finding an externship. Now I contact them to send me students who need externships or jobs. To speak to you today at this commencement is a wonderful full circle moment. Thank you again, ICE, for everything. Congratulations to the future chefs and graduating class of 2023, and good luck on your journey. It will be worth it, I promise.
At this time, I'm going to introduce our keynote speaker. It's an honor to welcome to the podium Chef Stephanie Izard, recipient of the James Beard Best Chef Great Lakes Award and Food and Wine Best New Chef Award. She is the executive chef and owner of The Girl and the Goat, Little Goat, Duck Duck Goat, and Cabra in Chicago, along with Girl and the Goat and Cabra in Los Angeles. Ooh. Izard also won the coveted title of Iron Chef in 2017 and was the 4th winner and first ever fan favorite of Bravo's Top Chef. Yeah. She jumped back into television in 2023 with the release of The Curious Chef, a taste-made television series where she visits home cooks to get a taste of their time-honored recipes and traditions. Alongside numerous appearances as both a competitor and a judge on shows including Tournament of Champions, Hell's Kitchen, Super Chef Grudge Match, Guy's Grocery Games, Chopped, and more.
Es un honor darle la bienvenida a Stephanie Izard. Ella es la recipiente del premio James Beard Best Chef, el premio Great Lakes y Food and Wine Best New Chef. Es la chef ejecutiva y dueña de Girl in the Goat, Little Goat, Duck Duck Goat y Cabra en Chicago, y también Girl in the Goat y Cabra en Los Ángeles. Izard también ganó el codiciado título de Iron Chef en el 2017 y fue la cuarta ganadora y la primera favorita de aficionados de Bravo's Top Chef. Después de regreso a la televisión en el 2023 con el estreno de The Curious Chef, una serie de Tastemade en cual visita a cocineros en su hogar para probar sus recetas de larga tradición. Tiene numerosas apariencias como competidora y juez en programas incluyendo Tournament of Champions, Hell's Kitchen, Super Chef Grudge Match, Guy's Grocery Games, Chopped y más. Favor de dar la bienvenida a Stephanie Izard. Please welcome to the podium Chef Stephanie Izard.
Wow, I sound very busy, but I've been looking forward to this. I'm so honored to be here. And honestly, I had no idea there was going to be like 900 people in here. I didn't know I was going to be on stage like this. It makes me want to bust into song because Pitch Perfect is my favorite movie in the world. But I'm going to save you from that. But just when you were all walking in, all of you students coming in for the night and the music's playing, and honestly, I got goosebumps. There's a couple of our goats, our team members that are graduating today. And I'm like, so proud to see you guys in there. I feel like as proud as all of the parents. I'm sure I just got goosebumps again. I can't wait to see my son get to this point in life where I can watch him graduate from whatever he chooses in his career. It was actually funny this morning. I was bringing him to school and telling him what I was doing tonight. And I said, I'm speaking at a culinary school graduation. He said, oh, where you went to school? He's going to be 7 on Friday, so still learning the world a little bit. And I said, no, I didn't actually go there. He said, oh, so is it like when they have the president come speak somewhere? Is it because you're like the greatest chef in the world? And I was like, yes, thank you for being the #1 fan of my fan club. I appreciate it. I felt all ready to come and talk to you guys. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey. Then I'm going to lead into trying to give you some advice, but it's funny when I look back at my culinary journey, I don't think I listened to any advice, and anything I would look back, it's probably take what you want from it, but some of it maybe won't be the best advice for you, but everybody's journey is going to be a little bit different. You all have different goals. I still, to this day, when you sit down and have that interview, they're like, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? Like, I don't even know what I see myself doing in 5 days. So it is important to set goals. It is important to seek out a path that excites you, but I wouldn't focus too much on that because sometimes things just kind of come and present themselves as it has for me, and you just sort of wait and see what happens. But of course, being here makes me think back to my culinary school. I graduated culinary school like 25 years ago, you guys, so it's been a while, but I could feel myself being back there with my chef hat on and with my chef coat on, really sweaty in Arizona at graduation, but just feeling so excited to start my journey, to get to working in restaurants. It's sort of, I went to culinary school after going to University of Michigan. I went to Michigan just so I could go to all the football games, and I got to come out here and go to the Rose Bowl my senior year, which was incredible. But I never found anything that I truly loved. It's so important to find something that you have true passion for. And when you go to a class as big as this and you're learning about economics and all these things at Michigan and you're kind of just dozing off in the back, it's kind of a sign that maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this isn't my path into business. So my dad actually suggested, he said, you should go to culinary school. That's kind of how he talks. And I thought, why don't I give it a try? So I went out to Arizona, and the second that I walked into culinary school, I felt like I had found my people. I don't know if you guys experienced that, but being around people that wanted to talk about food as much as I did, it didn't make me feel nervous. When I was growing up, everybody's watching. I mean, this dates me, of course. I already did that though. Beverly Hills 90210 and all of these things. And I'm like, I'm watching Yan Can Cook and Julia Child, but nobody else was able to talk about it with me because they had no interest. My mom was such an amazing cook. It was such an epicenter of our family that we just always talked about food all the time. So I was happy to get to culinary school, find my people. And I remember the first day, Chef Humphrey, which I don't even remember people I met 2 days ago, but I still remember Chef Humphrey because he had such an impact. But the first day he said, for those of you that think you're going to graduate culinary school and be a chef, you're sorely mistaken. That's not how it works. I was like, oh, I kind of thought that's how it works. He's like, you're going to be making salads and getting paid $7 an hour. I'm happy to tell you guys that's not true anymore. But back then I was like, yeah, that sounds great. I'm totally down. Sign me up. And I remember the first week of culinary school, it was the first time I'd ever held a chef knife. I grew up in a household where my mom was an amazing cook, but we used like these little steak knives to just cut everything and like saw them back and forth. And everybody was cutting themselves. Of course, you're so nervous. And after you got your third cut in your finger, you had to wear a glove. So I was just excited. I'd only gotten to 3 finger cuts. I didn't have to wear a glove. I had just made it through our first couple of weeks of culinary school. But as I went through the journey, it was each day just going to a different class, getting to learn sauce making, getting to Lobster day was rough. Lobster day was rough. I still to this day, but getting to butcher, getting to bake, every day learning something that was just so satisfying. I just could not wait to go to school every day. I think I won like the perfect attendance award, just saying. After culinary school, I found myself, I was working at a couple of restaurants. So the first one that I worked for a chef that actually kind of taught me what I didn't want to be as a chef. He screamed at us all the time. And I know we just spoke about how the industry is changing and it's completely unacceptable. I've been very fortunate since then to not put myself in that environment. But he would go on trips and we were just, when he got back, instead of be excited to see our chef, which I feel like my team gets excited when I come to work, I think, right? We didn't want him to be in the kitchen because he screamed at us just about everything. And it was an open kitchen too. So that just, the experience that the guests would see that just was mind blowing to me. So I told myself I was never going to be that person and I was never going to work for that person. I actually saw him at a party probably like 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, hey, I won't tell you his name, Chef Christopher. I used to work for you. And he was like, oh, did I scream at you all the time? And I said, you sure did. I was like, but thank you for that because you taught me who I don't want to be. And then I just walked away. Ouch, fierce. After that, I ended up working for amazing chefs. It is so important along your journey to choose chefs that you admire and choose chefs that you're excited to work with because you're going to be spending a lot of time in that kitchen, but you're also going to learn so many things. I worked for Chef Bo McMillan down in Arizona. It was truly amazing. And then I found myself suddenly moving out to Chicago. This is kind of just how I roll. I came out to Chicago to visit some friends while we were closed for a few weeks at the restaurant. I went to a Cubs game, went to a street fair, had some amazing food, and I just stayed. I called my sister and said, I moved to Chicago. Can you send my stuff out? So that's just kind of that sets the tone for my whole career. This is why I'm saying you might not want to listen to me, but I'm going to tell you what I did anyways. From that point on, I started working at amazing restaurants in Chicago. I worked for Jean-Georges von Richten. I got to meet him once. That was cool in the year and a half that I was working there. I worked at a restaurant called Spring where I was the tournat and I got to do a little bit of everything. I ended up getting my first sous chef job at a restaurant called La Tâche. It was this tiny little bistro. The owner named it La Tâche because she thought it meant like La Tâche is the spot. And I have a child too, so I'm totally just like, it's just normal. It might just be Ernie. I don't know. I brought him. She thought it was like the spot, like the hot spot to be, but it actually means like the spot on your shirt. So I was like, oh, I work at the Smudge. This is great. But that was where I actually got my sort of jump start. I was cooking one day. My chef used to let me make some of the specials. I made some fish specials and such. And one day, one of the cooks looks over and he's like, you're really good at this. You should just open your own restaurant. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, I was 26. So the next week I quit my job and almost a year to the day, I opened my first restaurant. This is why I'm saying, don't listen to me, don't do this. It ended up working out okay for me, but some advice that I do always give is to just take your time. I know a lot of times we put up ads for sous chefs and you get somebody that applies that's been cooking for about 2 weeks and you're like, let's just slow our roll a little bit, Take the time to get to know the kitchens, take the time to get to know yourself, take the time to understand management and people, and then you take that step. I skipped that, but I opened my first restaurant. It was called Scylla. I had it for about 3 years. I could go through this. That could be like a 30-minute saga just to tell you guys all about that restaurant, but learned so many things. I had over 20 employees working for me, and I thought it was the most amazing thing. And I was only 27 years old at the time, so I guess it was. Now I have, I think, 520 employees, but or team members more so, which is a little nerve-wracking, but I get to meet so many amazing people. I had that restaurant for a few years, and that's when Top Chef called, hey, do you want to go on Top Chef? And it just kind of turned into this whole different career than I ever saw for myself. Because when I learned everything happens for a reason, but also just not to really set too many goals for myself because I never knew what was going to happen. After winning Top Chef, I'm a sore loser. You guys nobody even plays Monopoly with me. I swear, not even my 6-year-old. I found these amazing partners to open Girl in the Goat with, and this is where my career sort of has gotten to where it is now. We opened Girl in the Goat. I said to myself, I'm never going to open another restaurant, because when you get the opportunity to be part of a restaurant opening, and I highly recommend if there's a new restaurant opening in town and you can be part of that opening team, it truly feels incredible. Just to even decide where the 9 pans are going to go, just to decide how the stations are going to get set up. You have such huge pride in being part of an opening team. I highly recommend it. By the way, we're opening another restaurant in LA in a few months. Keep an eye. Then we opened, so I said I'd never open another restaurant. Then we decided to open Little Goat across the street. Same thing, I'm never gonna do this again. Then we did a private event where we cooked Chinese-inspired food, and I thought, I wanna open a Chinese-inspired restaurant. So we opened Duck Duck Goat. Same thing, never gonna do it again. Then we opened Cabra, and it just keeps going. And part of why it keeps going is because we have these amazing teams. I have chefs that have worked for me. The longest I've ever worked for anyone is 25 years. He runs my culinary, and we've been working together since back at that first restaurant when we moved to Chicago. I have chefs that have been working with me for 10 years, 8 years. I think the least amount of time for my CDCs is 7 years. So each time that we have someone that becomes a sous chef that's really strong, and we're thinking, we need somewhere to make this person a chef. What are we gonna do? I guess we'll just open another restaurant. So it's just gonna keep going and going. And I actually had a chef say to me once, he said, the second restaurant that you open is the hardest because you feel so bad not being with your baby, your first restaurant, and you're stuck across the street, or I was just across the street, but you're stuck at your other restaurant all the time. Then you open 3 and it just gets easier, and then it just keeps getting easier. And I thought for a moment when I opened the third one that he was right, but it's not true. It's always very hard. Opening restaurants is always a huge challenge. So something at this point in my career as a chef, I think I do often get asked to give advice to culinary students, whether someone sends me a DM or I meet someone at an event. And like I said, I kind of just ignored anything that people would advise, like going through my career. So I feel like I'm not always the best person to ask. I do remember when I think about advice, I remember before opening Scylla, my first restaurant, I actually was helping wait tables at my friend's restaurant for a little bit just to get some extra cash coming in while we were getting open. And he pulled me aside one day and he's like, I just got to tell you, Stephanie, he's like, don't do it. And I was like, gee, thank you. I love the support. And I think not listening to him was one of the best things that I ever did. People are going to throw so much advice at you. And I heard amazing advice tonight. It would actually make I feel so motivated just to go back into my own culinary career and listen to some of the words that we've heard tonight. But just like in parenting, there's so much advice all around you. Listen to some of it, but some of it, just make sure you listen to your own heart and you follow your own path, because it's really just up to you what you're going to do with your careers. But I decided to use the whole thing of phone a friend today or text a friend and see what some of my chef friends would give you as advice, some of the people that I highly respect, to see what they would say. I texted Mei Lin. She is one of my chefs she just won Tournament Champions. She's kind of a badass. Can you say badass at culinary school graduations? I don't know, I did twice. But she started off as a fine dining chef, and now she runs Daybird and has the best chicken sandwiches you can find in LA. She wears all white in the kitchen. I'm all like colorful and dancing around, and she's very serious. So I thought she'd be a good person to ask. She said, define your goals and stick with it. I agree. I just haven't set any goals yet. So I'm going to work on this one. I've been thinking about that lately. I'm like, I should jot down some goals. And then I get completely distracted just by doing something and just kind of waiting to see. I kind of see my culinary journey as more of a roller coaster. And I like just keep going up and something exciting happens. Don't know what's around the next turn. And I'm just going to find out when you all find out. I also texted my friend Joe Sasto because I was just hanging out with him this weekend. He's the one with the sweet mustache. If you watch anything on any chefs on TV, he also makes the most amazing pasta and is just an amazing human being. He said, approach every job and interaction with an open mind and continue to find ways to do things differently and more efficiently. Another thing I would have told you, just when you leave culinary school, you have a set way that you've been taught to do everything. And I've been in the kitchens, you're taught very good ways. I would stick with most of those. But it's interesting, the first place I went into a kitchen, they're like, all right, can you make the mirepoix for the stock? And I just was back there with a scale and I was measuring the onions and the carrots and stuff. And they're like, can you just stop that? We need it in like 5 minutes. We just chop it up and throw it into this 22 quart. That restaurant, some of the things they tried to get me to do were a little bit, hack side. They're like, don't cut your shallot perfectly, just chop it up. And I was like, no, I've learned the right way to do this. I'm going to stick with doing it the right way. So learn new things, be open-minded to learn from different chefs. Whatever kitchen you go into, every chef came up working for different chefs and has different, these are the best herbs that you always use. This is, like, it's funny, if you work, Paul Kahn is a chef in Chicago. Everybody that worked for him put time in every single thing in the kitchens. If you come into one of our restaurants, there's probably mint, cilantro, and ginger on top, or mint, cilantro, and basil on top of just about everything. It just kind of depends who you learn from, but just be open-minded. I still, to this day, go into so many different kitchens and learn so many things each time I'm there. I get to travel around. Just this weekend, I was cooking at Healdsburg Food and Wine, and I was going into someone's kitchen cooking brunch. It is really hot. I know you're like, I'm like, sweating. I go into kitchens and they'll see me. I'm like sitting there taking pictures of how they set up their like pantry or things like that. We learned to put like a rail in front of our saute stations with our salt and our spoons and stuff. That's like the best thing ever that I saw in someone's kitchen once. So just learning new things and cooking with different chefs. Because I made myself a chef when I was 27, I kind of skipped the whole learning a lot of different techniques and such, honestly. So when I go into other kitchens and I see chefs that are doing a sous vide a certain way, or they're like doing something that's a little different than we do, I ask them about it, and I'm not embarrassed. People in the culinary industry love to share their ideas, but I'm always open-minded to take in new ways to do things so we can continue to get better. I texted Brooke Williamson. She's one of my best friends. She's an amazing like chef and mom and all of those things, and has figured out how to do everything. She just said simply, hard work and strong work like always pay off. It's just true. I have a lot of chefs that say to me when I talk about all of the different things I'm doing, and I probably take off one day a week sometimes. I'm not saying you should do this. This is just what, again, don't listen to me. Bad advice. But I've always worked very hard. It's always been my goal is to be the hardest working person in whatever restaurant that I was working at, just to kind of challenge myself, not comparing myself to other people, the hardest working for myself. It's just always been my mentality. So I fully agree with that. And then I texted my good friend Guy, wanted to see what he had to say. These are all very different personalities and very different backgrounds. So I was just curious. And he said, for some, cooking is a necessity. For some, it's a way of just making a living. For some, it's a hobby. He said, but if you want to be a real chef in this world, it needs to be a way of life. And at first I was like, well, that doesn't mean that it has to be your life, that you shouldn't do other things. Work-life balance is hugely important. I am a huge proponent of that. It's very hard to achieve, especially when you have children or you want to spend time with your family. But it means when you say it's your life, you talk about food, you go eat food, you travel and experience food, you hang out with other people that love food as much as you do. It just becomes your life. And that's sort of how he sees chefs becoming successful. But speaking of life, and I feel like I'm going over my 10 minutes, but I'll just keep going for a few more. Life as a chef does have its challenges. And you guys know this already. A lot of you have already been working in some restaurants. The hours can be hard. You're working at night. You're missing going out to certain things. You're maybe missing weekends with certain holidays and such. The physical demand is not for everyone. I remember coming up, and to anyone, it's okay to ask for help. I'll say it to anyone out there. I remember when I was younger, I was embarrassed to ask for help to like lift up the stock pot because I just wanted to show that I could do it myself just as a woman in the kitchen. And I've just had a terrible back my entire life. So it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't make you any less good at your job. Actually, people that ask for help are the more successful. When you're line cooking and you have 10 plates to pick up and the guy next to you has 2, ask for help. That's what the best line cooks, where it all comes from. It's not for everybody, but the benefits, I promise you, you have the chance to have them outweigh all of the challenges of being a chef. I think one of them is just, we get to bring joy to people in the world just by cooking. That's pretty incredible. You mentioned like sitting in front of a computer. That's like my worst nightmare when I have to, I type like 3 notes because sitting in front of a computer and just typing this, I was like, no way. It's just not for me. I have to be up and doing things, but I get to cook food, work with amazing people, and it just makes other people happy. If you come into any of the GOAT restaurants, we have open kitchens on purpose so that the cooks who are like working their butts off all night and cooking all the food and doing all the hard work can, when they get a second, look out and actually see the faces of people eating the food that they made, which I think is totally incredible. You look out and you see someone take a bite. Sometimes they make a weird face and you're like, I don't know if that meant they liked it or not. They're like when I'm at tasting, I kind of taste and I go, oh, that's perfect. And they're like, what is that face? I'm like, oh, it's just the vinegar. It's how this does it in my mouth. But you get to see smiles. You get to see families enjoying, people laughing, having a good time. I think that helps make it all worth it. On top of that, I think that the most rewarding part to me, and I think maybe just coming off of a weekend of spending time with a bunch of my chef friends and thinking about some of the people I've met in my own restaurants that I never would have met without having the restaurants. I know one of my sous chefs in Chicago, he actually grew up on the South Side. His dad was one of the biggest gang members in Chicago history, and he didn't know anything about the culinary world, came into our kitchen as a dishwasher. He had never seen an oyster, never heard of just anything that we were using in our menus. Slowly worked as we pulled him over to butcher to learn things, we put him in prep to learn things, and now he's now he's a sous chef at Cabra in Chicago and is one of my favorite people to work with of all times. But someone I never would have met or never would have had the opportunity to work with without this industry that is just filled with people of all different backgrounds, all different family life, all different things that have gotten them to this point. But what brings us all together is the fact that we all just love food, and that's why we do it. There's a organization I've worked with in the past called Common Threads, and their whole thing is teaching food from around the world to children who can then bring it home to their parents to just remind us all that that's what ties us all together. So we get to play with food. We get to go to the farmer's market. I still find vegetables I've never even heard of before because I just moved to LA 2 years ago, and I'm okay with admitting it, but I get to bring those back into the kitchen and play with them. It's just it can be truly amazing. It's hard and there's challenges, but if you find amazing people to work with, don't find kitchens that treat anybody any different, any way that you were describing. It's so hard to even hear that that's how the industry was, and I'm so happy that the industry is evolving. But there's amazing kitchens out there as well. So yeah, in closing, I should remember there's a world of opportunity out there for you. I think things have changed where restaurants like need amazing people. It used to be when I was a cook, it was like, I got a stage. There was like 25 people in line to just get a stage in a kitchen to try to get a job. And it's just a lot different now. We are all just waiting for the amazing people to come into our kitchens. Thankfully, we found some great ones here from ICE. Again, choose the people that you admire and want to learn from. Choose amazing chefs you just want to work with, that you're excited to learn from them. Don't be afraid to take risks. I think that's the biggest thing I've learned from my career is like, if you don't take a risk, if you don't give it a try, how are you going to know if you can do it? And then since I'm wearing my cowgirl boots, because I was going to dance, but I'm not going to, to phrase something that was already said, but this is from a song I was listening to in my car on the way here. Do what you love, but call it work. That's it. Do what you love, but call it work. I would like to sing it and do a little dance, but I will do that at the end, perhaps when you guys come up for pictures. Congratulations. I want to say I'm proud of you, even though I have not met all of you, but thank you for having me. Wait, we're taking a picture. Also, social media is a huge part of being a chef now. They should have it as a class, but we're just going to take one together. So I want to show everybody where I am. Yay! And I didn't press the button. I'm not very tech savvy, so I wasn't pressing the button, but I think we got a moment of it. Thank you.
Let's give Chef Stephanie one more round of applause, please. Thank you, Chef. And I have eaten at Cabra LA and Girl and the Goat. Amazing. If you haven't made dinner reservations yet tonight, you all go tonight. That's okay, Chef? As our commencement draws to a close, we want to thank all the parents, friends, and loved ones who supported our graduates and helped make their achievements possible. I hope they fed you well. Oh, yes, we do. Yes. Chef Sands.
Now for the bit that you've all been waiting for. The conferral of diplomas. So, our admissions team, please come forward. We are going to bring you up in sections. So, please. This will take just a moment to arrange.
Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Fidel Quintero. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Nico Bellini. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Angel Romero. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Omar Venegas. Graduating with honors in Culinary Arts and Management, Jacqueline Chavez Esteban. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Diego Gonzalez. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Angel Encinas. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Moises Rios. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Mardia Moriel. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Viridiana Mendoza. Graduating in Pastry and Baking Arts, Vladimir Cornejo Jr. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Jessica Bohannon. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Kayla Sands. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Edwin Ohanian. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Frank Gonzalez. Graduating in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Antonio Manadiaga. Graduating with highest honors in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Evelyn Yang. Graduating with honors in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Heaven Rodriguez. Graduating with highest honors in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Genesee Fisher. Graduating in Pastry and Baking Arts, Leah Rockamore. Graduating in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Nadia Villagrana. Graduating with highest honors in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Jose Nieves. Graduating in Pastry and Baking Arts, Emil Henrik. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Vivian Valencia. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Food Operations, Adim Aboka. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Ryan Holwager. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Ian Edwards. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Colleen Murphy. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Nadia Abumeita. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Marissa Gutierrez. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Tyler Beverly. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Leonardo Perez. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Gavin Kolb. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Jesse Lane Jr. Graduating with highest honors. Oh. 1 second. Good. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Victoria Naranjo. Graduating with honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Cecilia Moss. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Matthew Stein. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Baruch Smith. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Charles Dover. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Sarah Sanders. Graduating with honors in the Culinary Arts and Food Operations, Lainey Mahler. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Camila Allen. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Juanita Sanchez Grobe. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Karen Lawrence. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Israel Zarate. Graduating with honors in Culinary Arts and Management, Ana Haratunian. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Sophia Ha. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Mernaz Mirfakrar Ari. Okay. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Christian Garner. Graduating in Career Health Supportive Culinary Arts, Riley Ford. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Hasmik Yagobian. Graduating with a dual diploma in Career Pastry and Baking Arts and Culinary Arts Management, Owen O'Malley. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Diego Zamora Mendoza. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Taylor Easley. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Cindy Orozco. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Edison Lee. Graduating with perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Michael Corgwell. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Anthony Morales. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Alexander Torres. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Eldrick Santos. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Marvin Perez Garcia. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Sebastian Palmera. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, David Lara Robledo. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Brianne Waller. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Lindsay Pan. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Kareem Botello Juarez. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Martha Tapia. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Ellen Crooks. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Noelle Scotty. Graduating in Culinary Arts and Management, Nicholas Rucas. Graduating in Culinary Arts, Sarush Idgahi. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Ryan Horner. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Eliane James. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Viviana Munoz Sanchez. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Melissa Korth. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Martha McCann. Graduating with highest honors and perfect attendance in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Nicholas Rumsey.
Graduating with highest honors, Career Pastry Baking Arts, Sabrina Wasmer. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Alejandro Diaz. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Mia Oswald Burrell. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Elliot Radonovich. Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, Joshua Oges. Graduating with highest honors in Career Culinary Arts, Ivan Rangel. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Gabriel Benedicto. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Sejin Cho. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Alejandro Dominguez. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career culinary arts, Ryan Tang. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Elaine and Sua. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career pastry and baking arts, Danielle Hockman. Graduating with honors in career pastry and baking arts, Kaylee Hashimoto. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Araceli Vega. Graduating with highest honors in career and pastry baking arts, Julia Yaris. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Jonah Kramer. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Stella Kim. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career pastry baking arts, Brandon Cano Aguilar. Graduating in career pastry and baking arts, Sophie Navarro. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Max Shapiro. Graduating with highest honor in career culinary arts, Kelly Anderson. Graduating with honors in career health supportive culinary arts, Andrea Reyes. Graduating with honors in career health supportive culinary arts, Nicholas Mesa. Medeiros. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career health supportive culinary arts, Christopher Medeiros. Graduating with highest honors in career health supportive culinary arts, Semye Davis. Graduating with highest honors in career health supportive culinary arts, Uriah Pimenton. Graduating with highest honors in career plant-based culinary arts, Elizabeth Pilachi. Graduating in career culinary arts, Devin Cabrera. Graduating in career culinary arts, Silali Hernandez. Graduating in career culinary arts, Peyton Potvin. Graduating with honors, perfect attendance in career culinary arts, Steve Fuentes. Graduating in career culinary arts, Scott Norton. Graduating in career culinary arts, Sebastian Leal. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career culinary arts, Charles Braun. Graduating in career culinary arts, Ariana Calderon. Graduating with highest honors in career culinary arts, Shelby Kang. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance, and career culinary arts, Eric Morgan. Graduating with highest honors in career culinary arts, Vu Ong. Graduating in career culinary arts, Rasuli Moore. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Rex Kison. Graduating with highest honors in career culinary arts, Mario Molina. Graduating in career culinary arts, Arthur Oganasian. Graduating in career culinary arts, Kyle Simon. Graduating with honors, perfect attendance in career culinary arts, Jamie Bugaski. Yes. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Daniela Celis Zambrano. Graduating in career culinary arts, Tristan Boras. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Jason Rospierski. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Kayla Gallegos. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Olivia Ronstadt. Graduating in career health supportive culinary arts, Charlie and Max. Graduating with honors in career in pastry baking arts, An Win. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career pastry and baking arts, Mona Shams. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in career health supportive culinary arts, Junko Nishizawa. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Gabriela Barrios. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Russell Hirsch. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Betzal Levi. Graduating in career culinary arts, Brian Packer. Graduating in career culinary arts, Marco Negrete. Graduating in career culinary arts, Charlize Dubon Lopez. Graduating in career culinary arts, Sydney Spafford. Graduating with honors in culinary arts and management, Michael Sejono. Graduating with honors in culinary arts and management, Gavin Castillo. Graduating in culinary arts and management, Yi Ting Ku. Graduating in culinary arts and management, Alana Alums. Graduating with honors in culinary arts and management, Kylie Paddock. Graduating with highest honors in culinary arts and management, Andrew Gassett. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Sylvia Saravia. Graduating with honors in culinary arts and management, Luz Estrada. Graduating with honors in career culinary arts, Alyssa Marchaletta. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Bruce Anderson. Graduating in career culinary arts, Sam Swisshelm. Graduating in career culinary arts, Jessica Arias. Graduating with highest honors in career culinary arts, Marcella Smith. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance, and career culinary arts, Nicole Lee. Graduating in career culinary arts, David Serrano. Graduating in restaurant and culinary management, Wilson Chen. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance, and career culinary arts, Rachel Zhang. Graduating with highest honors in career health supported culinary arts, Guadalupe Gaitan. Graduating in career pastry and baking arts, Denise Heredia. Graduating with honors in career pastry and baking arts, Ashley Araguin. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Monica Shell Santos. Graduating in career culinary arts, Zane Padilla. Graduating with highest honors in career culinary arts, Mitchell Serda. Graduating with highest honors in career culinary arts, Tessa Flack. Graduating in career culinary arts, Manolo Gantumas. Graduating with honors, dual diploma, career culinary arts, and restaurant and culinary management, Ryan Aliahuzadeh. Graduating with highest honors, dual diploma in career culinary arts and restaurant and culinary management, Jacqueline Papetti. Graduating with honors in restaurant and culinary management, Abigail Quijano. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Shun Mei Shi. Graduating with highest honors in career pastry and baking arts, Meng Shi. Graduating in career culinary arts, Baron Von Crockett.
Graduating in Career Culinary Arts, David Munoz Shahawi. Graduating with honors, perfect attendance, and Career Culinary Arts, Matthew Tran. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Alfred Ensunza. Graduating with highest honors, perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Andrew Tam. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Clavante Granville.
It's Libanati.
Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Hannah Libanati. Graduating with honors, perfect attendance in Career Culinary Arts, Jonathan Fenderson. Graduating with honors in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Tu Pham. Graduating with highest honors in Career Pastry and Baking Arts, Stephanie Iribe. Graduating with honors in Career Culinary Arts, Sherry Trinidad. Graduating with highest honors in Career Health Supported Culinary Arts, Krista Schmidt.
And now, as our commencement draws to a close, I want to thank all the parents, friends, and loved ones who've supported our graduates and helped make their achievements possible. I hope they fed you well. To our graduates, I hope that you remember that while you're no longer our students, our relationship with you continues. You are now our colleagues, and we very much look forward to continuing to be a part of your future. We hope that you keep in touch so that we can hear your successes, eat in your restaurants, stay in your hotels, have you hire our externs, and perhaps even join us as faculty one day here at ICE. Congratulations on all you've accomplished and the bright future that awaits you. Graduates, please stand.
I'm just going to be right in front of you.
Okay, graduates, on the count of three, I'm gonna have you throw your totes in the air. On the count of three, you ready? 1, 2, 3. This ends our commencement ceremony. Graduates, please process back out to the courtyard. Guests, please follow them out after they've all exited. Let our family and guests, please wait and let our graduates exit first, please. Family and guests, let our graduates exit first, and then you proceed after them. Thank you for your patience and your cooperation.